It is deep in the summer of 2025. It's July. I'm feeling very patriotic, but I also wanted to carry an all black EDC. This is stuff made in America, assembled in America. For the most part, this is going to be America at its most bold and beautiful. Now, these are just idea pieces and counterpoints. Some of this stuff is going to be over the top. Some of the stuff is going to cost quite a bit, or it might be relatively affordable. Links will be down below. They'll probably mostly be affiliate links. If you use those, you'll be helping the channel out, and I would greatly, greatly appreciate that. Let's first start off with the items that are on me no matter what. These things, they're on me every single day. The first one is always a knife. This is the CRKT, the Twist Tige. This is an OTF knife that has a Magna Cut blade, spear point. I really enjoy this because I don't often carry an OTF knife. And this CKRT knife that I got it in the quarter, like the last very end bit of 2024. And it really made me change my opinion on how an OTF knife can feel it and the usefulness of it. Mine's starting to get beat up a little bit, but I'm liking the battle scars that are coming from it. Pocket clip is very useful. It's placed. It has two different kind of like patterns in the glue makeup of the carbon fiber is different on both sides. Here on the clip side, I love the way it has like this flat design and it's like all twisted, and I don't know, it's just hard to describe, but it just looks really, really good. And then you go over to the show side and it's a little bit more glossy. It still has that twist pattern, but it's a little bit more pronounced. And it's just something that's like super duper enjoyable. And I think that's why they go with the Twist Tige nomenclature, the naming for this. Very easy to use knife. It does get dirty up pretty quickly, especially if you're using it for, you know, glues and tapes and stuff like that. And it's because it is a spear point and double-sided. You're going to want to be careful cleaning this blade up. But other than that, it sounds really good. It looks really good. And it's fantastic. Now, one thing I'll say about this is that is a very good knife to use in all sorts of different scenarios, except for like a cheerleading gym. So I'll show you a different knife that I'll carry throughout the month. But this is a little intimidating to pull out at a cheerleading gym to cut a thread off something or cut some plastic off a new pair of shoes. A little bit intimidating, but we'll talk more about that later. Next is the wallet. I always have to have a wallet on me if I'm going on a ruck or if I'm driving. I need a way to identify myself here in the state of Texas. That's kind of important. So we are rocking the Dango A10 wallet. Now, Dango, made in America wallet, fantastic. What I like about this is super customizable. So I have Dytex on one side and I have G10 on the other side. But if I wanted to, and I've done this in the past, I actually have a walnut cover that goes on this side. You literally just remove these four bolts right here and you can change the cover out to basically whatever they sell on their website. They have carbon fiber, walnut. I think they have other colors of G10. So just a good mixture. And you can change this out instead of the Dytex. You can get the leather. They have like a folding version. They have a lot of different versions, so you can really customize this. This slips off. So if you want to separate these two and just carry the slip part, you can slip this in your wallet. That's normally where I keep my driver's license and I keep cash back there. And then on this side, these are cards I don't use as often, but you know, maybe credit cards for an emergency, you know, some extra business cards, Costco card. And then on this part, these are the cards I by far use the most. So the debit cards I use the most, my business cards that I pass out the most, they're kind of all like right here in that spot. So very, very streamlined. Dango makes some great products. I'm using one of their tethers on my pouch. You can also put a tether on this if you wanted to and clip this to your belt clip. Very customizable, smaller than the M1 Maverick. I like the M1 Maverick, but that's a beefy boy. Now, I want to talk about a USA assembled watch because there are a lot of bangers that are made in Europe. But when you find a banger that's made in the United States, you got to support brands like that. That brings us to today's video sponsor, which is Veer. And this is the C5 Tactical Field Solar Watch. This is rocking a solar power quartz movement, meaning 6 hours of sunlight. Sit this thing in the 6 hours of sun, video lights like I'm filming with right now. Anything similar to that will get you 6 months of reserve time on this bad boy. I think it looks really good. I've been rocking this for a very long time. And here's the thing. I've oftentimes talked about the C5 Tactical Field Watch, And I love the way it works. I love how it functions. You get 2 watch straps when you get it. This one has the upgraded tropical strap on there. So you can always try to opt for something like that. You can get a nylon strap, a pass-through strap. Very well-made sapphire crystal glass, a lockdown screw-down crown, 2-year waterproof guarantee, USA assembled. But if you want the upgraded version of it, you want a little bit more sparaz for you, you could always go for the A5 tactical field watch. Only difference here, this is not a solar power quartz movement. This is an automatic movement, meaning it uses the kinetic energy of your body to move the rotor that's in the watch itself. And it just is a very satisfying sound. Look to it. Quality is completely different. You can see the motor. You can see the movement in the back of the watch. Might be kind of hard to see because of the bracelet. And I did up and buy the steel bracelet myself. And that's an upgrade that you can get. But I think that if you're going to spend money on something like the A5 tactical, then you always kind of want to go all the way out. These are kissing cousins. These are brothers. They just have a little bit different functionality, but I love the way the automatic movement moves. I mean, it's an automatic watch. They both look really good being 40 millimeters. So it's kind of whichever one floats your boat. I don't go anywhere without a real watch on. That's just how I function. My smartwatch or my smart tracking capabilities is done by the Ultra Human Ring, which I've talked about several times before, which I'm wearing on this finger. But if this needs to be charged, I'll leave it at home. But if I'm missing a watch, I literally will flip the truck around. So check out the link down below to get the best pricing on either one of these watches. I think you would thoroughly enjoy it. And shout out to Veer for sponsoring today's video and for being a micro brand that's actually banging stuff out here in the United States. The last thing that will always, well, the second to last thing that will always be on me no matter what is some type of concealed carry. I just showed you guys my backpack gun. If you want to check that out. This is something that's normally on my waist and I want it to be made in America. Now, I've been really gravitating towards my Beretta lately, but the specific Beretta that I have is made in Italy. So it brings me back to my tried and true tested. This is a Smith & Wesson Bodyguard version 1.0 of the 380. And listen, for me personally, I love the functionality of this weapon. I think I want to get the trigger changed out. But other than that, I love running iron sights on it. I don't have to do anything crazy with the holster. It functions and it feels really good in the hand. It's super duper small, smaller than a subcompact. It's just something that you could literally throw in your pocket in an emergency situation if you really needed to. You can wear this as an ankle gun. I love it. I like it a lot. 6+1. You can carry an extra magazine if you want to. I don't, but I think they did a really good job with this. You can also buy this where it's already incorporating with a laser. You can add lights to it. You can add optics to it. You can do whatever. This is being rocked in a hidden hybrid holster, which is a made in America holster. Fantastic for appendix carry. It does have this velvet on the back, which makes it just kind of feel really good against your belly. And then it's a Kydex sheath and holster itself, which holds it steady. It covers the entire trigger for this specific model, which I like. And it has a very, very good pocket clip or clip itself that goes onto the belt or your trousers or whatever you got going on. This works in if you're wearing a belt or even if you're just wearing like some joggers or whatever. This works really, really well. The last thing that 100% is always on me is a flashlight. It is very hard to find a made in America flashlight that doesn't cost an arm and a leg. I know I can get stuff from Surefire, but I really wanted something that was pocketable and really didn't lean heavy towards a weapon. Princeton Tech has been making stuff probably in the United States since 1975, I believe. This is the Alloy X. This is a great 400 lumen flashlight. It gets the job done. One thing I like about it, it does have a very good low mode. You can switch it without fully turning it on. It doesn't have like a true momentary switch, but that's cool. It is able to be swapped. So if you need to, you can take this battery and you can swap this bad boy out for 2 AAAs if the battery itself were to die or if it needed to be charged, which is going to happen every now and again where the battery inside is completely dead and you're going to want to charge it. So it's good that you don't have to completely run without a battery if this thing were to die. There's a lot of companies making these pin flashlights. I just got one in from Woobin, which I thought was really good, but you can just tell the difference. I don't know if it's an aluminum build or if it's like a polycarbonate build, but it feels durable. This is a great backup light if your main light were to run out, and you're not going to get a a snapshot of me doing this, but it's a great light to put in your mouth for an extended period of time, whether so that you can do stuff hands-free. I literally did that as I was preparing for this video, where I kind of kept this in my mouth while going through different drawers and looking for stuff. So we talked about the things that are always on me. But there are times I get bored of stuff. There are times when I want to mix it up. So this is where I talk about the fixed blade that will be in the pocket whenever I see fit throughout the month. The Montana Knife Company, this is the Battle Goat. Now, one thing I like about this, it does have a very well-made sheath, no shakeage, does not move. It does have a custom molded Alti clip, which comes with every model that you purchase. And the G10 scales on this are God tier. Magna cut blade on this bad boy, good length. I'm hoping that they do come out with a mini Battle Goat. They came out with a mini War Goat. I mean, it just would only make sense they come out with a mini Battle Goat. This is a part of their tactical collection, and it's just a great knife to be able to use on anything you want it to. It's almost kind of one of those knives where, you know, Josh Smith, the Master Bladesmith, had his hand on this. It's kind of one of those times where you're just like, man, I wish I had serrated blade. Nope, you don't need that with this. So well made. It can go through fibrous material, ropes. You can cut aluminum. You can cut tissue paper with it. Very well made. Fantastic when you feel like mixing it up. I write every single day. It was hard because I actually make a journal on my website, but the materials that I use to make that journal come from overseas, and I finish it here in the man cave. So, you know, it's assembled in America, but not really fully made in America. So I really am going back to one of my favorite notebooks, which is the Hive notebook. This one is made in America. The thing is this is actually made out of crushed stone. So it's crushed rock, crushed stone on this bad boy. So it's tear resistant. It's also resistant to waters. Once you write on it and the ink dries, it's less likely that your writings are messed up. This is grid lines on mine. It has a book keep. It has calculations at the very front. So it tells you the area of a square, it tells you fractions to decimals, it tells you thickness of paper. Like, this is just like your own little personal brainiac at the very beginning of this thing. It feels really good. I'll link this up down below because I forget the measurements, but this is rocked inside normally my mini field journal. And I'm writing this month with the Tactile Turn Forced Patina side click pen. This is one of my favorite pens that comes from Tactile Turn. They use fantastic refills inside of their pens. Great clicky pen to be able to just fidget with. I think the base layer for this was brass and they forced patinaed it, and now it's black. So technically this wasn't a black pen until they patinaed it that way, but it looks really good. It's just done nothing but get more patina since I've had it for the last several years. Easy to change the ink out, write every single day. That's important to me. So that's a part of the carry as well. Now, there are some extra kind of like save round things that I have. All of the stuff that's additional that I don't need in my pocket every day, but I may want access to, is carried in the Data Crew snack break sling. This is like a pouch. It's very small. I actually really like the aesthetics of it. I love you get this loop panel on the front. You get a zipper over here with AquaGuard on it, a zipper over here with AquaGuard on it. This side is very sleek, simple with their logo on it. The only thing I didn't really like about this was the pricing in the jingly zipper pulls. Other than that, I don't really have a lot of complaints about it. I've added the Dango tether to this so that I can clip this to another bag, or when it's inside of my bigger bag, I can quickly grab this pouch out and it makes life easier. This is also made in America. That's pretty dope. So I just keep this pretty simple. Now, most of the stuff in here is not made in America, but I still need some of the stuff nonetheless. But I do want to just be able to have things at the ready that I may need. Now, one thing that is made in America, which I 100% will rock when needed, is the Gerber MP600. This is a multi-tool. I have two different versions of this, three different versions actually. This is the version that has the C-Press, the C4 punch tool on here, and it also has a T-shank adapter, which is a nice to have. So if you could swap out, instead of using this beat up ass saw, you can swap this out with something else if you wanted to, or if this one wears down, you could always swap that out. I like this a lot because you can actually access the pliers one-handed. So you see it's closed, you have your hands on a workpiece, you just shake it forward, and now you have access to the pliers and you can do your work on a workpiece without having to let that go. Their solution, this came out well over a decade before the Leatherman Free series, the Free P2, Free P4, and the ARC. They had a one-handed solution for a multi-tool a long time ago. Now, the only biggest complaint is that every single tool has to be accessed while the pliers are open. So if you want to get to any of these other tools inside, whether they have a really good saw, a file in here rather, they have a very good blade in here, anything in here, whether it is the Phillips or slotted or can opener, bottle cap lifter, you have to open the pliers to get to it. But once you have the tool out, you can do this. You can take the tool out, move the pliers back down. And this is one thing I like about this over Leatherman's tools is that the cutting instrument or whatever instrument that you deploy is near your thumb. So if you're using this, you actually can put your thumb on the actual tool itself and get more pressure or have more control as you're using this to cut. And this is a very, very good lockup on here. And I've never had it fail. Even if it did fail, it's failing into the tool and it's not failing into your finger. So very, very well done when it comes to this multi-tool. This thing has been out for almost 2 decades. I carried this first in Afghanistan, and now I would absolutely carry this on its own. It's a great multi-tool. If that OTF knife is just a little bit too much for whatever I have going on that day, I will bust out. This is the Benchmade bug out. This is the carbon fiber edition with the S90V steel. This is probably one of my favorite actioned bug outs, next to the aluminum version, which has the, I think the M4 or M390 actually. This one feels really good. One thing I would say about this is it's extremely lightweight, and I love the way it looks. It's better. It has the blue accents on it with the backspacer, and instead of just having standoffs like on the normal Benchmade bug out. So I think that they did a really good job just having just very subtle features on this, which makes it a little bit more fun to carry. And if you can't carry OTF because it's a little intimidating, it's nice to have. Now, other things that are in here, the only other thing that's really made in America is my Zippo. Of course, I smoke sticks. I'm smoking one right now, and be able to light that, I need to find an all black Zippo. I don't know why I don't have one. I'm pretty sure I can pick one up on Amazon just to be able to have that. But because I don't have one at the ready, then I do have it inside of this actual pouch. It is using butane fuel, Zippo butane fuel, so I can light a cigar without having a crazy smell. And that's about it for Made in America. I do have a more powerful flashlight in here if I need it. This is the Loop Gear SK05 Pro, which puts out all sorts of lumens. It has all sorts of goofy features on it, just in case you want any of them. One of them I do like is this light in the very, very front. It can do all sorts of colors and change stuff on there for you. Do you really need RGB? It's useful, I guess, if you need to keep low light or whatever. Spot beam, flood beam. A lot of people have done videos on this light. I think it's really, really durable. It's not made in America. And that's really it. That's really it when it comes for this pouch itself. For this is kind of my Made in America, all black, everything EDC for the month of July. Now, what do you think? Are there some things I'm missing? Should I add some fidgets to it? Do you have some things that are all black that you like to rock out? I would love to know what your comments down below. I have a bigger bag that's all black, and it's definitely on the agenda for the carry. And that is normally my conceal carry, my Brown Buffalo Conceal 21. But that'll be for another video. We'll talk about it another day. First time stopping by, hit the subscribe button. I would love to have you a part of the battalion. If this is not your first time stopping by, well, thank you once again for watching me run my grape. For everyone else, we'll speak soon.